Hi, hello everybody. Sorry I'm late. The freaking mic wasn't working again. So, there's some things I want to go over with you guys today. Um, but first, yeah, I hope let's check in with everybody. I hope everybody's good. It got to negative 32 here last night. It was ridiculous. We managed to keep, like, the only pipe that froze last night was in our kitchen sink. Everything else was fine. So, right now, the current temperature here is 3 degrees. It was -3 when I woke up. So, yeah, it was ridiculously cold last night. But I'm glad that's all over. Well, it's supposed to be really cold today, too, today and tonight. And then it's supposed to start to warm back up. So, we'll get into like the 40s by the end of the week. So, I'll take it. Hey, Muse News. Okay, now let me warn you guys. The first thing I'm sure I'm sure some of you have seen it. But the first thing I am going to show is a video of a teenage boy who looks to me to be about 14, 15 years old. If I'd say, yeah, 15, around 15. And he beats a 9-year-old girl, a 9-year-old little girl. He beats her on the school bus. Now, let me tell you this. Let me give you some context to this, okay? So you have the bus driver, and then you have another adult on the bus who is a bus monitor. And nobody did a damn thing to stop it. Not one adult, the school bus driver. I mean, it's crazy. So the beating went on for about 30 seconds, a little more than 30 seconds. And there is a happy update to all this. So he has been arrested. Well, first of all, let me tell you this. The mother went to the school and she had told them her daughter had been getting bullied. Her daughter and her son had been both getting bullied on the bus. Now, the school did nothing about it. And then this happened. And it was caught, kids, somebody filmed it on their video, on their phone. It got out there. The parents are now, they've had the kid arrested. The kid has been arrested, so thank God. And I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people are like, you know what, I can't watch this. I can't. But you know what? If I love you, babe. Yeah. If nobody talks about it, again, nothing gets done about it. Luckily, this kid has been arrested, like I said. And I hope, that, I mean, it's not good that he thinks that he can do that. Like, I want to talk to his parents. Like, I would like to see his parents and be like, this is your son? Well, you should be damn ashamed of yourself. Who raises their kid to think that that is okay? You know what I mean? I mean, we can talk about it, but I think people need to see it to realize, because if that was your daughter or if that was your child, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you want people talking about it? Wouldn't you want that out there? I just, so I actually, you know what? I'm going to take a vote right now. If you want me to play the clip, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't want to see the clip, put a 2 in the chat. Because, I mean, I don't, I think it's important for people to realize, I mean, there's something seriously wrong with that child, that 15-year-old teenager, that he thinks that it's okay to do that to a little girl. It is really important, and that could be, that, I mean, and it's not just this case. This happens every day on school buses. This happens every day on school property. This happens every day to children. And that shit needs to be called out. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. there's more ones in the chat than there is twos. Okay, so I'm not going to play the audio, but I am going to play the clip. Just turn your head for 30 seconds. Okay, and then I'm going to read you the story about what happened. But you need to keep in mind that during this, while this is happening, there are two adults on that bus. And not only do either adult feel like they need to stop this, but no other kids. Like nobody stood up for this girl. Nobody tried to stop this from happening. And that is not okay. So, all right, I'm going to play it. Turn your heads if you put a 2 in the chat. Now you gotta wait. It'll come. That is a 9-year-old little girl. That kid is way too big. And then you got another little kid. That makes me sick. Those parents should be ashamed of them damn selves. What the hell is wrong with people today? What the hell is wrong with people that you raise your son to act like that you raise your son to think that shit is okay? She was a 9-year-old little white girl. Do you think they played that on the news? Hell no. Well, you don't really need sound. I mean, it's a bunch of kids screaming. You don't really need sound for that. I mean, it made me sick. I hope he gets tried as an adult. Charge his ass as an adult and lock him up. Because if he's going to do that to a little girl, what do you think he would do to other people? It makes me, my heart breaks for them parents, for sure. Because let me tell you what, I wouldn't have been able to hold myself back. I would have been right there. Me and Chad would have been right there I whooped his ass right when he got out. I don't care. People who, he doesn't obviously have somebody in his life to teach him things, to teach him right and wrong, to teach him that you just do not do that shit. Unacceptable, exactly. All right, so now let me pull up the story that was with it. Let me find it. Oh, man. All right. Oh, shit, I didn't share it with you guys. Hold on. Honestly, I feel like the bus driver should be fired. And I feel like that bus monitor, the other adult who was on that bus, should also be fired. I know, it's crazy. All right, student expect to be charged after a third grade girl was beaten on a Florida school bus. A student has been arrested after video showed 2 others beating a girl on a school bus in Florida. The video, which was shot on a cell phone and shared on social media, lasts about 40 seconds, and in it, 2 students are seen repeatedly punching the girl in the head. The third grade girl was attacked Wednesday on a bus from Coconut Palm K-8 Academy in Homestead, Florida. NBC News could not immediately reach a representative with the Miami-Dade County Public Schools for comment Friday, but the district told NBC Miami it had arrested someone in the attack. Miami-Dade school's police arrested the offender and they will be charged accordingly, the district said. Additionally, those involved will be disciplined according to the Code of Student Conduct. The girl's mother told NBC Miami that the violence happened after a verbal argument escalated. The bus was full, but no students or adults intervened on the video. At one point, the girl crouches in her seat and puts her hands over her head for protection. At another point, one of the boys stops hitting her while a second boy throws a flurry of punches from behind. The student, I know, from behind, you little bitch, right? You want to be beating on a little girl, and you're gonna, oh my, I'm sorry. You know what? It really hurts my heart, and it really, really bothers me. Like, who is raising these kids? The students have not been identified, and the girl's condition has not been provided. The safety and well-being of our students is the utmost importance, the district said in its statement. This school district goes to great lengths to promote the values of restraint and respect while you're doing not a very good job, as well as using social media responsibly. We ask that parents reinforce these principles at home. Isn't that insane? Do you know what I mean, though, Stephanie? I just can't. Yeah, I know. I can't imagine what her parents thought when she got off the bus that day. You know? See, I just can't. I just can't find any reason to send my child into an environment like that. I just can't think of one. All right, now let's move on. Thank God he's arrested. Hopefully, they will charge his ass as an adult, and he will get a taste of his own medicine. You like beating on little girls? Huh? You like beating on little girls? Just wait for it. With your little punk ass. Hoping for answers. I don't know if there was cameras on that bus. If Karma, if nothing happens, if he does not get arrested, then I'm absolutely going to start a petition. Absolutely. And before that happens to somebody else's daughter. And I'm sure you guys will all sign it. I mean, there was a lot of other little kids. I wouldn't expect the little kids to step in and do anything, obviously. But I mean, somebody should have stopped it. Oh, Erin, you're welcome. And also, I'm going to be doing a video on like some of the homeschooling curriculum that I use, some of the books that I got, where I got them from, different programs. So that should help you too. This was in Florida. Yeah, so if karma is correct and nothing happens, then absolutely I will be starting a petition and I will let you guys know, and then we can just blast it all over. Okay, so let's move on. Do you guys remember the Balenciaga ad that came out and all of that craziness that happened with it? I talked about it, but not many people did, which I thought was crazy. Okay, well, there's another one. Now, this one is much worse. I'm not even going to show all of the things, but I'm going to read you the article. So let me share this with you guys. All right, there's something terribly wrong with Gorset Kiev, and it's worse than Balenciaga. Gorset Kiev is a collective. Now listen, you guys. Is a collective of photographers that collaborates with the world's largest brands. Apparently, everybody's ignoring the fact that their work revolves around the graphic abuse and sexualization of children. Even worse, some of these models appear to be actual victims of child trafficking. Okay? Now, here's one of the pictures. Now, I mean, the girl's handcuffed. She's in chains. She's got bruises on her. I mean, this is not okay. This should not be acceptable as art or as an ad for any type of product. Can you guys all hear me okay? Kaylin said my mic is breaking up. Can you guys all hear okay, or is something wrong? Okay. Hold on one second, okay? Give me a second. Is that any better? Like I'm afraid to unplug it because I don't want it to go off again. Crap. You know what? It might be my heater that's sitting next to me. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Okay. I hope that's better. Okay, is that better? All right. So, it does look like a radiator. That's what I thought too, but it's a suitcase. All right, now. Gorset Kiev is a photography collective consisting of 3 artists. I'm totally going to butcher these names. Victor something, Maria Romanuik, and Yulik Romanuik, based in Kiev, Ukraine. The group has collaborated with many galleries, magazines, musicians, and brands such as ID Vice, Dazed and Confused, Skim Milk, Hood by Air, Ariel Pink, and others. In 2022, Gorset Kiev was named in Photo Vogue's list of 100 next great fashion image makers. Okay? All while using children. I'm gonna, oh man, I'm gonna fly past this video, this one right here. All right. Only one needs to take a look at a few pics taken by Gorset to realize one thing. There is something terribly wrong with them. Everything about their work refers directly to pedophilia, child abuse, and trafficking. Many children in these pictures appear deeply unwell, as if they were actual victims of human trafficking that are constantly drugged and abused. Instead of being alarmed by these pictures, industry experts actually celebrate Gorset and reward them with lucrative contracts. And since the Ukraine war, the collective is touted as freedom fighters by the media as it urges people to support them with donations. Donations. Asking for donations for this. All right. Why does the industry love Gorsuch so much, and why aren't they being investigated by the police? Well, when one realizes that their works are also replete with the occult, elite satanic symbolism, one realizes one important fact. They're part of the same sick culture. Here are the collective's favorite themes. These are their favorite themes, right? They're not hiding this. This is one of these articles where I don't feel comfortable posting pictures because they're so vile. However, this insanity needs to be exposed for what it is, or it will keep going due to general indifference. I did not dig these pictures from some obscure website. The following pictures are proudly exposed in trendy exhibitions, major fashion magazines, and all over social media accounts. When fashion magazines describe Gorsuch's work, they like to use the words youth, innocence, and sexuality. That's another way of saying pedophilia, because that's exactly what this is all about. It's hard to explain. It attracts on some intuitive level. There is no common logic. A mere look at the following pictures is enough to realize that this is not about the natural coming of age of children. It is about their abuse, their exploitation, and sexualization by sick adults. I'm gonna just leave it right there so you guys can see that and not go down any farther. But this is not art. Why are we celebrating this? This is a girl who looks like she's been through the ringer every day for the last how long? This is not art. And what if they are actual victims of trafficking? And people are giving them money. They are getting big lucrative contracts. They're calling it high fashion. It's disgusting. It's the world that we live in that is run by these sick freaks. All right, let me get past that one. Here's another one. Now, what do you think that's supposed to mean? To promote an exhibition, Gorsuch uses a highly symbolic picture, a balloon attached to a chain, representing the innocence of youth ruined by control and exploitation. This picture should not be more, or could not be more obvious. This young girl is chained and bruised. This is all a reference to child ST. Two young girls are chained next to something that looks like a cheese grater, which might refer to torture. I mean, who is doing this? Like, who says this is okay? And I've said for a long time, and listen, don't get mad at. I don't want to offend anybody here, but you know what? I've said do you know how bad of a place Ukraine is? Like Ukraine, look it up. Ukraine is one of the biggest places for sex trafficking. One of the biggest. Don't tell me that we're giving them money to fight a war. Don't tell me that bullshit. Because that's not what this is about. That is not what this is about at all. Yep, that's the girl from the suitcase. It's very, very sick. All right. I'm going to skip this next picture because it's way inappropriate. And this right here. She's got a freaking dog collar around her neck. Or not a dog collar, like one of them S&M, like them freaking things that freaks and weird people, she's got one of those around her neck. And I mean, this is so inappropriate. Why these people all need to be shut down. Shut them the fuck down. Shut them down. Lock them all up. Throw away the key. Never let them back out into society. It pisses me off. And this is what sells. This is what these people do. It makes me sick. All right. There's a lot more. I'm not going to go through them. You guys get the idea. But if you guys want to go, what I'll do is, this is from the Vigilant Citizen. What I will do when I'm done is I'll go back and I will drop this link into the description below, because this shit does need to be talked about. This shit does need to be exposed. And maybe if enough people actually care, maybe if enough people actually give a shit, people will be able to do something about it. All right, Mrs. Kelly. I'll see you soon. Yeah, it's terrible. Okay. Let me get back to my screen here. Lazy Llama, your guess is as good as mine. You know what these people won't do for some money. Putting their kids out there like that, it's disgusting. All right. Now something a little bit lighter. Hold on, let me mute myself. I guess I don't really need to. It's going to be real short. Okay.
More than half the women in my cabinet, more than half the people in my cabinet, more than half the women in my administration are women. More than half the women in my cabinet, more than half the people in my cabinet, more than half the women in my administration are women.
More than half the women in my administration are women. And this guy has access to the nuclear codes. I mean, come on. For God's sakes. I hope that more than half the women in your administration are women, but today you never know. Yes, please, Sefa, throw that in there. Or not in the chat. Or yeah, you can put it in the chat for anybody that wants it. What gets me, if a stranger come up to a child in the park with any kind of material or toys or speech like this, they would go to jail. But the schools and the businesses are allowed to do it. I know. Yeah, I know. It's insane. Insane. Okay. Uh-oh, my. Okay. All right. The government is making a dairy farm in southern Ontario dump 30,000 liters of milk because they have gone over quota. Can't donate it to a food bank or to a hospital or to a homeless shelter. Right down the drain so we can pay $7 per liter for milk. It's ridiculous. We see what they're doing to the people. These people went over their quota, so you're going to make them dump 30,000 liters of milk down the drain. Like, that is not. It's terrible. It's all about control. And once people realize that, the better off they'll be.
Farm in Southern Ontario. Hey guys, we're here at Hugon's Farm in Southern Ontario. We milk about 260 cows. Right now during the winter months, you milk quite a bit more milk because the feed is very consistent. And as you do a good job, you will produce quite a bit of milk. So right now we're over our quota. It's regulated by the government and by the DFO. But the problem is what they don't understand is millions of people look at this milk running away. Because it's the end of the month. So I have to dump 30,000 liters of milk. It breaks my heart. I will show you. By the way, this here, Canadian milk, it's $7 a liter. When I go for my haircut, people say, wow, $7, Jerry, for a little bit of milk. I say, well, you have to go higher up because we have no say anymore as a dairy farmer on our own farm because they make us dump it. And no matter how we stand up, so this time I'm going public. I want the people to see the pain that us growers have of 365 days. As a little boy, we grew up on a dairy farm, came from Europe, work, and here we are. This is what's happening.
I mean, you know, people may not find that important. People may not think that's a big deal. But let me tell you, that is a huge deal. That is a huge deal when you have governments controlling farmers and telling them what they can and cannot do with their product, how much product they can have and how much they can't. And when you have extra, you have to dump it down the drain. That's not okay. That's not okay. And they want to talk about inflation. Don't think that it's just him. Don't think that it's in Canada. It's not other places. It's everywhere. They're literally doing this to farmers everywhere. All right, let's move on. Exactly, Karma. See, they want us to rely on them. They want us to come to them for everything. All right, now, Sifa, I know you did something on this, and I saw this article. I had never seen it before I saw it on your channel. And I was like, what is this? And then I was going through my news feeds and stuff last night, and I found this. And I was like, oh my God, that's where it came from. A YouTuber set up a fake live stream to give him an alibi for murdering a pregnant woman, prosecutors say. A YouTuber staged a fake live stream of himself playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City to give himself an alibi for the murder of a pregnant woman. They accused Stephen, what's his last name? McCullough? I don't know. Okay. Of setting up the stream to divert suspicion from killing Natalie McNally, who was 15 weeks pregnant when she was killed on December 18th. Media outlets, including the BBC, The Guardian, and the Belfast Telegraph, covered a hearing at a court in Lisburn, Northern Ireland, at which McCullough's request to be released on bail was denied. Per the reports, the court was told that the live stream ran for 6 hours on the same night McNally was stabbed to death in her home. The Guardian said that a senior police investigator told the court that technical analysis determined that the footage was pre-recorded. In the stream, he claimed several times that the video was live, but said he could not respond to the video's live chat due to a technical glitch. Per the Belfast Telegraph, later admitted that the stream was a deception, giving a statement to police that it was recorded on December 13th or December 14th, around 4 days before the killing. In the hearing, prosecutors accused him of a sophisticated, calculated, and cool-headed plot and said that he was capable of deception beyond imagination. The court also heard that he left his phone in McNally's family home after the killing to record audio and figure out whether they suspected him. The BBC said that a lawyer for him defended him, arguing that the details of the live stream were not a strong basis for suspecting him of the killing. He was in the hearing but did not speak, several outlets noted. McNally's family held a rally in her name organized by the National Women's Council on January 28th. Natalie was a remarkable person. From the age of 3, she lived with type 1 diabetes. She was delighted to be becoming a mother for the first time. For any young person living with diabetes in Northern Ireland, Natalie is an ideal inspiration. Isn't that crazy? Faked a live stream as an alibi to cover up for going and killing a pregnant young woman. Sick. Sick. And then left his phone to see if they were thinking of him or suspecting him. To Trudy. Okay. Joyful Dolphin. Yeah, I will look into that as soon as I can. All right. Everybody, please take a minute and hit that thumbs up. Please sub to the channel if you have not done so. You know, it's a free way to help out the channel. And please, after the lives are done, I keep asking people, and people aren't doing it, which I get it. You're busy or you forget. It's fine. But if you can remember to please come back and comment after the video is over. Thank you. Okay.
Mom,
What, baby?
Mom, this plug isn't broke.
What plug?
The black phone plug, it's not broken.
It's working? Oh,
I'm gonna give it to John. He doesn't have one.
okay. All right. All right. Father of missing Tennessee girl who vanished a year ago speaks out after jail release. The father of Summer Wells, who went missing in June 2021, is breaking his silence after being released from jail for a DUI charge. Donald Wells told Tennessee News Station, in an on-camera interview that their family is still focused on finding Summer, who disappeared in June 2021 at the age of 5 after picking flowers with her mother and grandmother. She would have turned 7 this weekend. I don't really want to celebrate her birthday without her, Donald said. She was definitely going to be tall, probably as tall as me. I'd say because she was growing so fast. I'm sure she would be the same person, and she didn't have any qualms about taking on her brothers, that's for sure. She didn't hesitate to put them in their place real quick. He noted that the family won't give up on finding her. We have to prepare ourselves for a worst-case scenario, he said. You know, we could always hope for a good scenario.
With the father of a missing Hawkins County girl for the first time since his release from jail. Good evening, I'm Sarah Diamond.
I'm Josh Smith. Yeah, it's been almost a year since we've last seen or heard from Donald Wells. An Amber Alert to find his daughter Summer Wells remains active 19 months after it was first issued.
Don was released from jail back in October after serving time for a DUI charge. He broke his silence in a recent post on findsummerwells.com.
He criticized the Department of Children's Services in Tennessee about how they handled the case involving his older children. And now we're hearing from him in his first on-camera interview with News Channel 11 since getting out of jail.
Ansley Daniels spoke with him. Ansley, what did he tell you?
Well, Josh and Sarah, this is the first time we are hearing from Don since he was released from jail. And in the months following, with their sons in DCS custody and Saturday marking Summer's 7th birthday, Don Wells told me that he and his wife just want their family back together. It's been almost a year and a half since Summer Wells went missing from her home in the Beech Creek community of Hawkins County.
We have to prepare ourselves for a worst case scenario. You know, we could always hope for a good scenario, but you know, it can't be good because no matter what situation she's in, she's lost her freedom. Even if she's alive, she's lost her freedom. She can't be seen in public.
About a month after she was reported missing, her 3 older brothers were placed into DCS custody.
We really want our boys back home. If Summer was to be found today, we wouldn't be able to see her or talk to her, and we can't talk to our boys.
Were they in touch with Candace when you were in jail?
Yes.
But did something change when you got out of jail?
The only thing that changed is suddenly we weren't allowed to contact them at all.
Wells spent a little more than 8 months in the Hawkins County Jail for pleading guilty to a DUI charge.
One of the guards gave me a copy of the New Living Translation Bible, so I found that to be about the best book there was. So I read it several times because that's all there really was to do. And I was in 23-hour lockdown, so for my safety, they say.
And since he was released from jail, Wells says it's been a challenge to gain custody back.
They're doing nothing to help us. In fact, they're making us jump through all kinds of hoops, which is almost impossible to jump through all of them and hold a job and do all these things. They're making it real tough on us.
Wells told us he has been in touch with investigators over Summer's case.
There's not one shred of evidence. There's nothing. As much as they've looked, and as much as the work of this they've done, they haven't been able to come up with anything at all.
His wife, Summer's mother, Candace, has also been in and out of the hospital.
Candace has been in the emergency room 4 times for heart problems, and we're looking at eventually doing a major surgery, hopefully to correct the problem with her heart. But she's doing better, I think. But all the stress and stuff, it's not helping at all, I don't think, for sure.
This weekend marks Summer's 7th birthday.
It's just another day without her. I mean, I don't really want to celebrate her birthday without her.
A time where he will wonder what she would be like as a 7-year-old.
She was definitely going to be tall. She'd probably be as tall as me, I'd say, because she was growing so fast. And I'm sure she would be the same person. And she didn't have no qualms about taking on her brothers, that's for sure. She didn't hesitate to put them in their place real quick.
Don Wells says that even though there has not been any new leads in Summer's case recently, he's hopeful that by keeping her name in the news, there will continue to be some new information shared with police.
Hoping for answers. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You guys didn't know me when I didn't publicly do Summer's case. I did from home, like watch it every day. I was on, I was in it. I was like, this girl. You guys did not know me then. I think, I mean, not for nothing, but it might have been a good, I was screaming at my TV. I totally don't believe a word that comes out of Candace's mouth. I think she is full of shit. I think she knows what happened to her daughter. And not for nothing. But the pictures that came out during that, the pictures of how that girl had to live. I mean, I'll never forget the picture that came out. It was Summer and a few other kids laying on these shitty, disgusting looking mattresses with no sheets on them. They all looked like passed out, and not sleeping passed out, like drug passed out. Like it looked like a drug den. And I'll never forget it.
I subscribed to that video. Or liked.
I'll never forget that picture, and not for nothing, but the picture of her in the back seat when she said her mother said she was sleeping, on the milk. How could a little girl fall asleep on the milk like that? It would have been so cold. You wouldn't have been able to sleep like that. Secondly, she just looked not right. I'll just say that. Oh, I know. A lot of kids unfortunately live like that. And it's no shock to me that they don't have their boys. If I'm being honest. So, but man, it's probably a good thing that I wasn't on here because, it was not good. I mean, you can ask Chad. I was constantly. You tried. Okay. It was crazy. So, but I pray and hope that they find her. I hope that she comes home one day. I don't know. Okay. Oh, well, yes. So I definitely get passionate. I'm glad you used that word. All right, let's go on. All right. Anti-religious bigotry. Nebraska Dems would ban kids from vacation Bible school and church youth groups. A Democratic lawmaker in Nebraska is being accused of anti-religious bigotry by Republicans after she proposed to ban children from attending church youth groups or vacation Bible schools. State Senator Megan Hunt says her amendment, which would ban children under 19 years of age from attending a religious indoctrination camp, you like how they wrote that? A religious indoctrination camp, because it's exactly opposite of the shit that they want pushed, like kids going to the rainbow room. You know what I'm saying? Look, but that's okay. A kid can't go to Bible school or Bible class and, learn about God and all of that. But you sure as shit can send them to the rainbow room to get that kind of education, can't you? Okay. Is intended to kill the underlying bill, LB 371, a measure put forward by Republicans to ban minors from attending drag performances. The text of the amendment asserts that there is a well-documented history of indoctrination and sexual abuse perpetrated by religious leaders and clergy people upon children. Well, that is true. They come in all walks of life, if we have learned anything at all. It's not just religious people. Yes, it has happened in religious settings, like in, you hear about it, priests and children and, but that's not everybody. That's not the whole religion. Just like it's not everybody over here on this side either. They're everywhere. But because Republicans, and I don't do Republicans or Democrats, they're both wings to the same freaking bird. So don't forget that. Right wing, left wing, they're all connected to the same bird. So I think, it's a bunch of bullshit is what it is. It's just another way to keep the people divided. But because a certain group of people put out a bill that would ban kids under the age of 18 going to a drag show, they come out with this bill that says, well, if kids can't go to drag shows, then they can't attend church groups. I mean, and I think it's total insanity. What do you guys think? Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, that's crazy to me. All right. It is totally crazy. All right, let me go back over here. Mrs. A, we are definitely in the end of something. You know, and that's what Lori, that's what like, why would you want to take your kids to expose your kids to that? Like, I just don't get that. And that's not on kids. That's on parents. That is on parents. You know, and again, I'm going to take you back to the kid on the school bus who was beating on that 9-year-old girl. Why? Who would raise their kids this way? Why does that kid that thinks this shit is acceptable? Why do people just accept this shit? Why do we think it's okay that this goes on? Why do parents take their kids to drag shows? Why do parents not teach their kids morals? Why do parents, you know, why is it okay for kids to go out and drinking and drugging and doing whatever the hell they want, committing, you know, killing a girl, covering it up? Why is any of this shit allowed? Why are kids allowed? Why? I mean, listen, Lori, I totally understand what you're saying. She said kids beating others is usually because someone has done that to them. And I understand like where you're coming from with that. I totally do. But to me, there is no excuse for what that teenager did to that little girl on that school bus. Absolutely, GOP Nick. But that one, Trudy, that one was way older. That kid had to have been 14, 15 years old. I mean, come on. Oh, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, it's usually stuff that they've seen in their life. That's where society has gone very, very wrong. Very wrong. Mrs. Kelly, that's my thing. Like, why didn't anybody do anything? That bus driver should have immediately stopped that damn school bus and broke that shit up. Immediately. But to let it go on, what about the bus monitor? What about the other adult on the bus? They didn't do anything. And I mean, not for nothing, but you can go on the internet every day and there's kids right now, every day. Look it up. Teachers are getting attacked by students, beat on by students. You know, and a lot of people they're probably like, you know, maybe he was I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, if I had been there, let me tell you, myself, if I had been there, I would have yanked that kid off that freaking girl so fast his head would have spun. All right. Oh, jeez. All right, let's move on. The Satanic Temple opens clinic to provide religious AB care named for Justice Samuel Alito's mother. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. The Satanic Temple is opening a health clinic in New Mexico to provide free religious medicated ABs and will name the facility the Samuel Alito's Mom Satanic AB Clinic, in mockery of the Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, who authored the opinion overturning Roe v. Wade. TST Health, the new medical services arm of the non-theistic religious organization, will provide telehealth screenings and appointments to provide AB pills to patients. These services will be provided free of charge as part of the Satanic Temple's AB ritual. Okay? Are you kidding me? The Satanic Temple's AB ritual, sacrificial rituals. though patients must still pay for their medications from a pharmacy, which typically costs $100. $100, and you can go sacrifice your child. As part of a ritual. And now it's right out there in the freaking open. Satanic Temples AB ritual. $100. I mean, what the fuck? Oh God. I know. It is. It's craziness. If you guys remember the satanic the satanic temple, this was I don't know, a few months ago. I had done a video. The satanic temple the satanic church went to college campus, and they put up a booth and everything. And they said, you can, for $10, you can come over here and renounce him, you know, the bad one. They put an upside down cross on your forehead, and you done vowed your life to Satan for $10. Yep. Y'all remember that? All right. TikTokers are discovering the extreme sport of death diving, where divers appear to belly flop from terrifying heights after videos go viral. Oh boy. In Ashford Neshji's January 24th TikTok, the 20-something can be seen standing on top of an impossibly high diving board in the sunshine. She then launches herself off and torpedoes into the water. A Norwegian athlete who's become a foremost death diver shared in a comment exactly how high she fell, 24.8 meters, or a little over 81 feet. The viral videos have introduced many to the of extreme sport of Dodds, as it's known colloquially in Norway. Dodds also translates to death in Norwegian. While it has been classified as competitive sport, many people around the world are first hearing about it on social media and are absolutely astounded, if not frightened by the feat. She's seen starting at a jog before she launches herself into the open air, dropping in a tight spin, twirling horizontally like a pencil dropped from a skyscraper. About 5 seconds later, makes contact with the water with a loud splash as onlookers shout in disbelief and excitement. Okay, the problem is now you got boneheads that are not trained athletes who are doing this. Let me go back up here. Who are doing this? TikTokers are discovering the extreme sport of death diving, where divers appear to belly flop from terrifying heights. Now you have people doing it for themselves. You know what? Natural selection is a thing for a reason. If you boneheads want to climb up on top of a freaking cliff and belly flop into the water, you know what? If you're dumb enough to do that, more freaking power to you. All right. All right. Lawsuit can proceed against Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse. A federal judge in Wisconsin ruled Wednesday that a wrongful death lawsuit filed by the father of a man shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse during a protest in 2020 can proceed against Rittenhouse, police officers, and others. The father of Anthony Huber, one of the two men shot and killed by Rittenhouse, filed a lawsuit in 2021 accusing officers of allowing for a dangerous situation that violated his son's constitutional rights and resulted in his death. Anthony Huber's father, John Huber, also alleged that Rittenhouse, who was 17 at the time of the shootings, conspired with law enforcement to cause harm to protesters. John Huber is seeking unspecified damages from city officials, officers, and Rittenhouse. U.S. District Judge Lynn Alderman on Wednesday dismissed motions filed by Rittenhouse and the government defendants seeking to dismiss the civil rights lawsuit. In allowing the case against Rittenhouse and the others to proceed, the judge said that Anthony Huber's death could plausibly be regarded as having been proximately caused by the actions of the governmental defendants. Rittenhouse's attorney Shane Martin said in a phone interview that it's important to note the ruling doesn't address the merits of the case. It only allows it to proceed to the next phase. Now, I'm telling you, it's a good thing that I was not on YouTube when this shit was going down either, because I would have been in big, big trouble. Let me tell you. Hold on, you guys. I got to grab more coffee. Give me just 1 second, okay? Oh my God, I just burnt my mouth out. Okay. Hey, Mrs. Kelly. At GOP Net, absolutely. I watched that every day. When that shit was going down, I was watching it every day. And you know what? When that judge came back when that jury came back with a not guilty verdict, I mean, me and Chad were right in front of the TV, I'm over here praying, like, God, please don't let him be guilty. Please don't let him be guilty. And when he said not guilty, like, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, good. Because had he not done what he did, they would have killed him. He would have been dead. And you know what? People want to stand out there. People want to stand out there and say, well, he's 17. He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been out there. You know what? He shouldn't have been out there. But him and all those other people that went out there to protect businesses wouldn't have had to been out there if the cops were allowed to do their job. But the cops were told to stand down, not do anything. So people had to be out there protecting themselves, protecting businesses. People had to be out there to do that. It was total self-defense. I mean, he was in the road. They had hit him in the back of the head with a skateboard. He was on the road. He was down. They were coming after him. Like he grabbed that just in the freaking nick of time. And let me tell you that if that was me, I would have done the same exact thing. Same exact thing. And so wouldn't anybody who was using their head. If you're really thinking about this logically, you would have done the same thing. Yes, Kelly, he absolutely did. He had better control over himself and the gun than many adults would have. So, I don't think that he was found not guilty for a reason. I don't think now that the parents should be able to come back and sue anybody. Your son, he was out there to protect businesses and to protect and to offer medical help to anybody who needed it, bandages and shit like that. That's why he was out there. But you had people like Rosenbaum and this other guy who was out there, to cause problems, to riot, to start fights, to be violent. That's not what Kyle was out there for. So yeah, there's a big difference here. Hey, I talked to Kyle R., and his Addie. You talked to Kyle Rittenhouse, Mrs. Kelly? I would like to talk to him. That'd be awesome. Oh, you did? I want to talk to him. I think that would be awesome. But so anyway, the bottom line is there should be no freaking wrongful death lawsuit. There's no way that they should win that case. That's awesome. Okay. Let me go back to that. Okay. In allowing the case against Rittenhouse and the others to proceed, the judge said that Anthony Huber's death. Oh, yeah. Okay. I just read that. Rittenhouse's attorney, Shane Martin, said in a phone interview that it's important to note the ruling doesn't address the merits of the case. It only allows it to proceed to the next phase. While we respect the judge's decision, we do not believe there's any evidence of a conspiracy, and we are confident, just as a Kenosha jury found Kyle's actions that evening were not wrongful and were undertaken in self-defense. Attorney and private investigators for John Huber spent over 100 hours trying to locate Rittenhouse, tracking down addresses in 7 states before they found the home of his mother and sister in Florida. The lawsuit was served on Rittenhouse's sister, who said that he wasn't home. Alderman said that was sufficient to qualify as being served. Okay. Rittenhouse had argued that the case against him should be dismissed because he wasn't properly served with a lawsuit. Not to mention that he was already found not guilty. You know, so why are we doing this? Attorney for the law enforcement. All right. Attorney for the law enforcement and government officials being sued did not immediately return emailed messages seeking comment. It's crazy. It's craziness. Okay. Woman accused of killing a lookalike to fake her own death. The suspect allegedly used social media to find any persons looking as similar to her as possible. An Algerian beauty blogger was allegedly killed by a young woman who looked strikingly similar to her in an effort by the latter to fake her own death, say police in Germany. The wild case began back in August of 2022 when the family of 23-year-old German-Iraqi woman identified only as Sherabin K in German outlets traveled from Munich to somewhere else to find her after she stopped answering her phone calls. They found a body brutally stabbed to death in her car, and while police initially believed Sherabin was the victim, the autopsy raised serious doubts about the identity of the body. Shortly after the discovery of the body, police announced they had made 2 arrests in the case, including one woman who looked strikingly similar to the victim, who was later identified only as something. A 23-year-old Kazavan man was also arrested at the time. This week, police announced arrest warrants for both suspects who have been in custody since August. I can confirm that the accused 23-year-old female obviously planned to start a new life due to family problems. The woman allegedly set up different accounts on social media to find any persons looking as similar to her as possible. Investigations revealed contact to several young ladies during a period of few weeks. Investigators assume that under a pretext, she managed to organize a meeting with the later victim. Together with the 23-year-old male, she traveled to the Heilbronn region to pick her up and carry out the planned murder. In a press release, police speculated that the suspect wanted to go into hiding due to family problems and fake her death. According to previous knowledge, the suspects came up with a plan to search online for a woman who looked similar to her, kill her, and place her in such a way that the corpse would be mistaken for the suspect. The 2 suspects are accused of driving to pick up the victim at her home before she was lured out of the vehicle and killed in a wooded area with a large number of stab wounds in the body. In a statement to German publication Bild, the police spokesperson added, "We don't have a case like this every day, especially with such a spectacular twist. On the day we found the body, we didn't expect it to develop like this." Isn't that insane? So this lady, because she wanted to disappear without disappearing forever, she scoured social media to find a lookalike and then went and killed her and tried to fake her own death. Right, because that's the normal thing to do. That's crazy. All right. All right. An extremist Christian pastor in Texas said that it's effeminate for men to get their wife's consent on how many kids to have. Now, just listen. Just listen to how this guy thinks of women. And he is a pastor. Okay? Let me mute myself.
I heard an independent fundamental Baptist preacher. He's like, it's not right for me to just tell my wife when we're going to have kids. I need to ask her. I heard an independent fundamental Baptist preacher. He's like, it's not right for me to just tell my wife when we're going to have kids. I need to ask her permission or ask when it's okay to start having kids. And I'm like thinking like, are you a man? Are you a Baptist? You're a fundamental Baptist preacher and you're going to ask your wife if it's okay to have children? I'm like, what planet am I living on? How effeminate is that to let your wife tell you when she's going to have kids or not? I mean, that's feminism. You know which buttons I ask my wife it's okay to press? None. Because she doesn't tell me what to do. That's a weird relationship. And it's sad that fundamental Baptist preachers are letting their wives tell them what to do. I heard an independent fundamental Baptist preacher. He's like, it's not right for me.
Yeah. So it's not right. What kind of relationship does a woman tell you what to do? I never met such a thing. Who says it's up to the woman to decide about having kids? I mean, come on, guys. Jeez. I mean, it's just crazy. And this is a person that is leading a congregation. That's the scary part. Well, we know how his household rolls, don't we? Ass backwards, I would say. I know. And I think that's what he meant, honestly. Like, it's not up to the woman. She doesn't have the right to say no. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. She doesn't have the right to say no. There is no consent. It's me. I say. What I say goes. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? That's not good. And he's teaching that to, his congregation. Oh, yeah, we should. We might, Mrs. Kelly, we should. That's crazy to me. And you guys, I know, that's unfortunately a lot of men look at the world like that, and it's just crazy. I mean, the world, but it's like my thumbnail says, you can only see the stars in the darkness. And not for nothing, but that's when the stars shine, is in the darkness. That's when the light comes. That's when you can see the light. Well, I think if you're honestly talking about having a baby, obviously it should be between both, you guys should both decide, because it's going to take both of you. I think that should be a joint decision. But as far as him being like that and totally in control, and that's not working for me. That's not going to work. Yeah, so there is unfortunately a lot, like, the world is screwed up. People are screwed up. People are lost because they don't have the light in their life. People are lost, and some will find their way back, some won't. But all we can do is try to, how do I want to say this? All we can do, or at least all I can do, is try to inform people, try to talk about things that maybe other people don't feel comfortable talking about, or talk about things that maybe other people, just would rather let it go. Like, don't mention it at all. Don't bring it up, out of sight, out of mind. But that's not how the world works. Problems aren't going to go away because people don't want to talk about them. Ignoring something has never solved a problem, ever. So, that's all I can do is talk about things and bring it up, and, hopefully bring a little awareness to it, hopefully spread a little light on the situation. So that's what I wanted to say. I don't, and that's why I don't do this type of video all the time, is because, I know it is a lot of bad news, and I know it's, some people don't like to hear it and don't like to acknowledge it, but that's not reality. That's not going to fix anything. Things need to be talked about. Things need to be exposed. Things need to be brought to light. Be the stars that shine in the darkness. And that's what I'm trying to do. Just be a star in the darkness to shed a little bit of light. And someone who is in the darkness may see that light, and it, may help them. If I can help one person, then I've done something, So I really appreciate you guys for being here. Everybody, please hit that thumbs up. Please sub to the channel. It's free. It's a free way to help out the channel. And please, please leave comments in the comment description below, not in the chat, in the comment section, because that helps YouTube see that people are interacting with the channel. So it will help. It'll tell YouTube to promote it more, to show it to more people. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. I love you guys. Links are, anybody who wants to donate to help the channel, links are all down in the description below. Anybody who wants to join, become a member of the family, we would love to have you. We will be doing a members only live this coming week. So you guys will be there for that. So I love you guys. And if you guys have anything, because I've gotten a couple of things, but throughout chats and stuff, if you guys have anything specific that you want me to look into, come back in the comment section and leave it in the comment section below, and I will look into it. All right. I love you guys. And anybody who wants to send anything, there's always my email. You can hit us up on Twitter. Anything's fine. So I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions and keep spreading that light. I'll see you guys later.